Hi everyone, welcome to Melanie's workshop. Today we're going to replace a Tenon Cork by hand. The supplies that you'll need are some 1/16 inch sheet cork. You'll need a 6-inch steel ruler. You will need a razor blade, a pair of scissors, a Tenon Cork scraper. It'll be sharp and have a scraping edge on one or both sides. Whatever you can get is great. And I like to use a sanding stick with a fine grit. You can use an emery board or just some sandpaper or a file. You'll also need some acetone and a t-shirt kind of rag to remove the excess old glue. So the first thing we're going to have to do is get that old cork off. You're going to take your Tenon scraper and you're just going to push the old cork off, and then you're going to, once you have the bulk of it off, you're going to grab your rag and put a little bit of acetone on it, and you're going to rub around on that cork track and try to get all the remaining glue and residue out of those grooves and off of that cork track. That way it's fully clean and degreased for you to continue on to the next step. Sometimes this process is easier than others, so just be patient, keep at it, and get it all clean. Once it's all clean and you have no more glue residue in any of those little grooves, you are ready to go on to the next step, which is cutting your new cork. So grab your cork and give it a bend, check it out, make sure that it's not going to crack. You also want to take note of any big filled spots, and we're going to avoid those in our new piece. And then you're going to grab your ruler and your razor blade, and we're going to cut a straight line at the edge because we're never going to assume that our cork is straight. So save that little package that the razor came in. We're going to use that later. And when you cut, make sure that you hold your razor blade straight. You don't want to hold it to any one side because you're going to then end up with an angled edge instead of a straight one. Now that you have your nice straight edge, we are going to measure the cork track. So you're going to line your cork up, your straight edge up in the track, and then you're going to use that as a guide, and you're going to cut a little notch at the other side. And then you're going to do the same thing to the other side so that you've got a notch on each side. Once you have those two little notches, you can check them out, and you're going to get your ruler and you're going to get it right up against those two notches. And I kind of flip up the edges so that I can really shove my ruler against it so that I know I'm going to cut straight exactly where I want it to. And again, just cut a nice straight edge. And the next thing that we're going to do is cut a little angled section on one side that we're going to use when we wrap. So you just cut a little angle, you can see it there, and then we need to check to make sure that the cork actually fits in the track all the way around. We have to make sure that we did a good job and really cut it straight. Then I like to take the little cardboard piece that the razor blade came in and cut it in half lengthwise. We're going to use this as an applicator for our contact cement. So you're going to get some contact cement onto your new applicator, and then you're going to apply it into the cork track all the way around, a nice thin even layer. Make sure that you get in all the edges and all the grooves. Once that's done, we're going to apply the contact cement onto our cork. And don't forget to put it on that angled edge also. You want to make sure that you have a nice, thin, even layer. It's not thick and gloopy. And once that's done, we're going to let it dry for a few minutes. Your contact cement will go from looking glossy and wet to like there's almost nothing there at all. You can see that I have a little wet spot here at the end, but we're not going to worry about that because it's going to get cut off anyway. You can also tap it a little bit with the back of your finger, but not too much because you don't want the oils from your hands to interfere with the adhesive. And when you tap it, it shouldn't be sticky at all, and that's how you'll know that it's dry. Next, we're going to line that angled section up with the back of the instrument, and we're going to place the cork gently and straight into the track. And then you want to just press it and kind of pull it around and just make sure it's going straight. And you're just going to pull and press gently until you get all the way around. Once you've gone all the way around, just press it down, and then we're going to use our razor blade to slice off the excess. Then we're going to take our ruler and go around and just press that cork into the groove as much as we can. Around and around, just keep pressing on it and pushing on it so that we know it's really in those grooves. And we're going to really press on that seam and make sure we can get that as flat as possible. Once we've got it pressed in about as much as it'll go, we're going to take our nice sanding stick or your emery board, and we're going to get rid of the bump on the seam. And that's your tenon cork. At this point, you're ready to put some cork grease on it and give it a try. If it's too thick, just take a strip of 320 grit sandpaper and sand it down until the cork fits. Use lots of cork grease, and don't forget the cork will compress over time. Thanks for watching.